Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Today, I have a beer. Beer mail from my good friend Mike O'Croy, who lives around the corner. Dropped it on my doorstep. Taste the Rainbow Mocha Stout. 5.7% ABV, bottled the 22nd of the 2nd, 2021. So, relatively fresh for a porter. A stout even, a mocha stout. Reasonably firm. Let's crack her open. A little hiss. No gun smoke really. 20 seconds, so I'm not sure whether that's bottled. Oh yeah, bottled on the 22nd, so it's had 2 weeks really. Only since it's been bottled. My apologies, I maybe should have left this a little longer. But I wanted to try it. Little cap. Smells nice. Smells fresh. It really does. A little hint of a touch of toffee. I know it's mocha, so it should have some coffee in there and some chocolate. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I'll have another taste. As Big Banana says, I always have 2 tastes before you comment. Yeah. I probably opened this a bit too young, really, to be honest. They say bottled on the 22nd of the 2nd. Normally, I think I should have probably left that a couple of weeks. But so what's 22nd? And what we on the 3rd, 4th today? Let me just check. Don't know. So 1 week. I don't even know what the date is. Oh, it's only the 3rd, so it's only been bottled. About just under a fortnight. It's okay, isn't it? Just under a fortnight. I mean, it hasn't held its head, I know. It didn't hold the carbonation, but I think that's my fault, not Mike's fault. I imagine his bottles, when he finally opens them, will be perfect. I didn't really take it in, opened it, and just started doing the beer review on it. So what am I getting from it? Coffee, chocolate, a little touch of toffee. It's clean. It's very clean for like a stout. No roastiness at all that I can get. It is really nice. The clean almost. If you took out that coffee and toffee and just chucked hops in there, that would be a black IPA. It's that clean. But it's going down really fast. This is bloody lovely. It's well chilled, I know, because it's been in the fridge. So I'll just top that up just for now. Why not? I'm going to drink it all. Yeah, there's some at the bottom. Right. So I'll put that aside, let it warm a bit, and we'll have a little bit of a chat. It's so apparently, yeah, it's the 3rd of March. It's Wednesday, Homebrew Wednesday, and I brewed yesterday. I had a brew yesterday. I did again the spring beer, 2021 spring beer. That was 4 kilos of Maris Otter, 500 grams of Munich malt, 26 grams of Galaxy, I think. Or it might have been 16 or something. I think it says in here. Spring beer. Yeah, Galaxy, about 30 grams. I think I did about 25 grams. I'm still aiming for the 35-ish IBU. So, Galaxy, and Citrus. I did exactly the same beer as I did last time. Except this time I've used the verdant yeast. So, I'm going to be able to... I want to compare the two. Now, the spring beer I did the other week, that I rushed a bit with SO4 and got diacetyl, and so I had to put aside. That keg I put away for a bit. It was under pressure. I think it was about 25 psi it was on. So letting it warm up, I felt that with the pressure as well, so there's a bit of pressure fermentation going on there, that would clear it up. And I've tapped it, and I'll only get a sample, and it's cleaned up a fair bit. I wouldn't say 100%, but certainly there's a little look at it. I mean, look at it, it looks good in that. So this is the spring beer. There's a little hint on the nose, slight hint of butter on the nose, but taste wise, initial taste of that is fruit. The Galaxy and the Citra, lovely. Citra flavours, tropical notes. That does overlap. There is a very slight underlying hint of diacetyl, very slight now. But I'll just drink it at that now. But I will compare it with what the Verdant does. Yeah, there is. It's just there. It's always there, going to be niggling at me in the back of my mind. There's a bit of diacetyl in there, kind of thing. Other than that, yeah, that's a nice beer and would be lovely. So the second version that I've got in now, I did yesterday. Was it yesterday? Oh, Wednesday? No. Did I brew Monday? No, I didn't brew Monday. I did brew Tuesday. I brewed Tuesday. Yesterday. God, it's hard to keep track of what day of the week it is these days. Yeah, so I brewed it yesterday. Everything went absolutely to plan. No issues. A little bit over on the numbers and a little bit under on the volume. I think I got 21 litres and it came out at 1.04, or was it 5.4? Bear with me. I'll just look and see what it says it's supposed to be. Supposed to be 1.046. That's right, yeah. So, and I got 1.05. I think. Right, that's what I got, 1.050. So, the Verdant yeast is bubbling away nicely, and this morning before I went out to work, I saw a little bit of Big Banana's video of his NEPA and saw what the Verdant yeast did for him. And can you hear that? Some weird cats just howling outside, and I don't think it's one of ours. Anyway, sorry, it just distracted me that. So back to it. Yeah, so I saw what it did there. Jesus Christ, I'm done because I'd seen that a few people had gone mental for, so I thought, well, I won't risk it in the bucket. I'll do it in the Brewfather with the Grainfather fermenter. So it's got about that much. That should be enough. And so far looking, it is. Should it go wrong, it's in the kitchen, so I will be up the creek if it does go wrong. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I've done this week. As I say, the American wheat turned out really nice. That's going well. That won't be lasting long at all, because we had such lovely weather this weekend, didn't we? Oh, it was brilliant. I was knocking that back. It was going out of fashion on Saturday whilst I was barbecuing. So yeah, I mean February, and I was barbecuing. It was just mint. Yeah, barbecue, sat in the sun, drinking American wheat beer. It was fantastic. So I've got the spring beer on now, so that I'm trying to get rid of that, just drink through. But I will try and get a comparison of what I think, and I'll try and ignore the diacetyl with it, but I'll see how that try to compare fruit wise, flavour wise, with the Verdant yeast and the SO4, because it's come out really fruity. It has come out really fruity, and it's quite enjoyable. I did want to just like dry hop the shit out of it now, but I want to actually see what the Verdant, does it bring anything more to the table with the fruit flavours and such, or does that only happen when you really chuck lots of hops in which case, You know, you're just chucking lots of hops in. Yeah. So I will say about that. So let's get back to this. This beer of Manx. It's been sat there for another 5 minutes. I mean, it's not the warmest of places in here, I will admit. So it's still pretty cold. I'd say it's the carbonation's my fault if it's too low. But as a beer, I mean, I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. There's carbonation gushing up at the glass, but it's not great. And say, it's only had what for 20 seconds. Oh yeah, 6, 7, 8. 9. It's only had 9 days. Fairness to me, I am stupid, and I should have left it a bit longer. I just got excited because Mike had dropped it on my doorstep last night. Yeah. Yeah. This will turn out to be an absolute stunner, I bet you. I probably should have saved this and not just rushed into opening it and drinking it, which I didn't need to do. There you go. Flavour wise, let's go back to that. Yeah, there is a hint of coffee there. There is a coffee taste note to it. There is, I suppose there is some roastiness coming through a bit now as it's warmed up, but it's not a lot. And if it's anything, I'd say it was more the roastiness of the coffee rather than the grains, or it's just well combined between the two, and it's difficult to judge. Toffee, a little bit of toffee, yeah. That's what I got in the aroma, I think. But yeah, there's certainly no. It does smell like a clean, lovely beer. That's all I can say, really. Do you remember those little imp sweets? There's almost they were licorice. There's a hint of that licorice from those. That's it, licorice imps. There's a little hint of that in the aroma, just a little. Yeah, I would say there's a little touch of licorice in there. A little touch of licorice that goes to roasty, ends with a little touch of coffee on the back end. It's an absolutely lovely beer, I will say that. So, right, yeah, 5.7%. It's a stout. You don't drink 5.7% stouts that often. I mean, impy stouts, yeah, you start to get it up. Normal stout, 5.7. I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't have known. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it, even without the carbonation being there. You can see on the glass, I suppose. It's not the oiliness that you get with an imperial stout, but there is a slight hint of the oiliness, I suppose. As I say, this is going to be a cracking beer when it's got. Oh, look there, but worked up a little bit of a head just for it. You can see how it laces, but leaves a little touch of the alcohol. I mean, look, the head will be lovely. Look at the colour of that. A very lovely caramel colour. And there is carbonation in there. Excuse me. So we've been about 14 minutes now. Do I have anything else to discuss for a Homebrew Wednesday? I've been watching a couple of videos again. I had a few hours to kill yesterday, and I tried to watch some videos. I watched Big Bananas this morning. I didn't watch it all. I still have to watch the end of it. I saw up to when he was just starting to taste it. That's about it, and the fact that he'd forgot about the fermenter for 3 to 4 weeks, and then had to clean the whole thing out because it was a fucking right mess by the look of it. I mean, it was a mess, wasn't it? I mean, come on. That yeast just is a monster at times, but he won't be using it again, and so I'm intrigued because, like he says, it just went wow and then died on him. So I'm intrigued myself to see what that does for me. Watched Dude's Brews review of Blue Trouser Brewery's. I think it was Blue Trouser Brewery. I just only saw it again. Version of the Vacant Gesture. That sounded really nice. I know I've tried Vacant Gesture, but I'm not sure if I have tried Vacant Gesture at the same time. Of course, when we were there, the very start we had it on. He had it on tap and cask, and we were comparing the two, and then he found out that maybe the one on the keg rather than cask wasn't possibly Vacant Gesture, but it wasn't. I don't know. I can't remember now. There was something about it that wasn't quite right. That it might be a version that's slightly different, and hence when we were comparing, there seemed to be a bit different. And I'd been drinking the keg version more than the cask version, so I don't really think I probably tried Vacant Gesture, even though I'd been there for the day and night. In fairness, I'd had a lot that afternoon, as most people testify who were there that I wasn't. I was quite the worst for wear. Anyway, that's another story. I watched Andrew Lynch's video. He's been doing the German series. I know this is turning into more like a Sunday catch up, isn't it? But it shouldn't be. I know I should cut this shorter, but I won't, because I'm just going to sit here and drink this and then talk about it. We're not watching Andrew Lynch's video. He's doing like the German series where he's done a Marzen or Märzen, and now he's done a Helles, and he's comparing the two, which is good. It was good to see. He's got me interested in doing some German beers. They looked and sounded. I mean, that his Helles. Wow, the clarity on that was fantastic, and obviously. Heathen Brewery with Steve Ogden, he's done a Märzen as well recently, and that looked fantastic. I guess it's doing these over winter, when you can overwinter them, and you have the second fermenter, etc. Good time to do these things. And doing what I do in the spring beer is working out well, because I did check before I did it, before I brewed, because I looked at the weather forecast for the next week or so and saw that we're going to have like real low temperatures on an evening. High temperatures on a daytime aren't going to be that high still, so it was nice after we've had that little bit of sun spell that then I could use my grandfather fermenter, because I haven't got the ability to chill it down with the glycol chiller or the other I don't know, it's just like just took in ice watery bath chiller thing that they would also sell for a bit like 50 quid, which I thought was just a bit pointless. So I haven't got a glycol chiller yet, so I was like, alright, so I have to think of, do I use my fermentation fridge, which obviously the grandfather one won't fit in, or do I use the grandfather? Well, with the weather, I went with the grandfather, and also with the fact that I could then use the verdant yeast, because I have the big space, big head space. I know it sounds all a bit complicated. So yeah, the watching the Märzen videos by Andrew Lynch. I can't remember what his brewery's called. I have seen it, and I did see it today, because I also watched Big Banana doing a taster of a couple of his beers as well. I also went back and watched, for some reason, the algorithm on YouTube came up with Watford Gap Brewery, Peter Hodge, his very first video. And I thought, do you know what, I want to watch this, because it's always interesting to see the home brewers' first videos, to see what they did their first video about and such. And the only thing I can really say about Peter's was he's got rid of the tie and gone for bow ties, and I know why that is. He did mention it once before, a long time ago, that ties kept dipping in when he was brewing, so he's swapped to bow ties now. So hence why he's also Bow Tie Brewery. His his for sale stuff here, his beers that he's selling. I also watched one of his videos. He was doing a taste test of one of his latest beers. I can't remember, was it Mosaic or something? But anyway, he'd done a beer, split it into 2 batches. One batch US-05, one batch was it was Liberty Bell, and one batch Liberty Bell, and he was comparing and contrasting to decide which he would keep and which he would sell. And that was interesting because he made the comment about fruitiness of hops, and you don't need a lot of hops in a beer to get good fruitiness. You just need to know how to use them, which I thought was a telling comment. Of course, there is that, but then there's the also, I think, because I'm not using a lot of hops at the minute. Certainly these spring beers and the American wheat aren't using a lot. There's certainly no excuse me. See, you got the Graham seal approval there for this. Cheers, Mike. So he was, yeah. So, but then there's the opposing argument that the more hops you're used to drinking. I mean, Punk IPA, for instance, and Sierra Nevada, when they were, let's say Sierra Nevada first, and then Punk IPA when they first came out, they were like big, punchy, hoppy beers. Everyone was like, "Wow, this is what you can do." And nowadays, you just taste them and they're like, "Yeah, okay, that's pretty run of the mill." And it's more that tastes have altered. You've adapted and got used to certain amounts of hops in drinks, and your palate has altered and such. And so these feel like run of the mill standard beers now. You know, so there's an argument both ways, I can say. And so yeah, I watched that, and then he did his. I think I watched another one as well. One on his Victorian. Did another Victorian beer, which it's like 200-300 grams of hops in it, and that in the boil, because these are high IBU, but they work. I think. I don't know whether it's because it uses a mild malt, which he says is he's been told, led to believe, is as close to Victorian malts as you can get. They're not as what's the word for it? They're not as highly adjusted as modern malts, so you don't get the efficiency, so you have to use a fair bit. I think that was what he was saying at the time. I might have got distracted, I might have misunderstood, but I think that's what it was. So he's using mild malt, and I think it was just the mild malt, and then just lots of hops. But when I say like lots, like 200 or 300, these are like Fuggles, so they're not high AA, so you're not chucking in like 300 grams of Citra at 13 of rapid. So it's, it's. But these aren't such bitter beers. They're higher. I think he said it was about 85 IBU, which is a fair whack. Or I might have got that. About 85 IBU, I think it was. Anyway, so that's what I've been watching and looking at. Blue Trouser Brewery, I know I watched a couple of his, but I can't remember them as vividly as these. And no offence to Owen Puckett, I believe it was, who was doing the videos, but it was more the fact that I was more enjoying his visual style. He obviously has been using video software similar to Andrew Lynch, and he has got like that similar visual style there, and I was just in awe of that, really. So I think I got a bit distracted by the way he colours the picture. It's visually very nice. So I think I got distracted by that, because he's very similar to Andrew Lynch in cameras and such. And so go check Blue Trouser Brewery, Andrew Lynch, which I can't remember what his bloody brewery's called, but you'll know Andrew Lynch. He's in the bloody podcast, isn't he? That's something. Oh, it was. Yes, I remember now. talking about podcast, he was trying Chris Millington's beer. And I can't remember which beer it was. I think it was an amber ale. Anyway, yeah, so it was that. That was what I was watching. So in a review of Chris Millington's amber ale, I think it was. So, just what I've been watching the last week. So it's gone for 25 minutes. It's supposed to only be a homebrew Wednesday. A quick one talking about this beer, but I've kind of waffled on a bit, haven't I? So I'll leave it there. We'll stop and we'll move on. But I will say, this is a lovely beer. It's an absolutely lovely beer. If it wasn't for me constantly gabbing on it, this would have been gone hours ago. Or at least 10 minutes at least. So thank you to Mike O'Croy, who's on the BrewTube official Facebook page. He doesn't do videos, but he is there. And thank you to you for watching. If you got this far, cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.